of you who have not yet got into your seat, we're going to start in exactly 37 seconds. Please be seated. And we would like to be very much on schedule. Okay, we are all set. Good evening again. On behalf of every Indian in Lehigh Valley and every person in Lehigh Valley who is originally from the Indian subcontinent, I'd like to welcome you all to this event, which is celebrating Rabindranath Tagore's 150th birth anniversary. My name is Arup Sengupta. I'm originally from India, and I have been a resident of Lehigh Valley almost forever. Tonight, we are going to celebrate this particular event, and that's not very difficult because this is a person who has composed poems, songs, created dances, so it's very easy to celebrate this guy with all the things. He is a very familiar name with every Indian. He is an internationally acclaimed poet, he's a novelist, he's a short story writer, he's a philosopher, he's an educationist, he's a social reformer, he's a painter, and one can go on and on. But behind all these things, this one-night celebration, we primarily amateurs who helped organize this event, we have one aspiration, that this probably should be beyond just one-night celebration. Rabindranath Tagore lived long, but still not long enough to his country being independent. 6 years after he died, India became independent. And India, which is a predominantly Hindu country, adopted one of his poem songs as its national anthem. Then, few years or several years down the road, Bangladesh became independent. Bangladesh, which is predominantly a Muslim country, adopted another of Tagore's song as its national anthem. Sri Lanka, which is in the Indian subcontinent and predominantly Buddhist country, adopted a song which is not written by Tagore but one of his students who was studying in his institution while he composed this particular song. The simple question is that why would these three different countries with three different religions and three different languages would adopt Tagore's poems and poem songs as their national anthems? To each of them, Rabindranath Tagore was neither an Indian nor a born Hindu. He was, and still is, a member of the human race, a citizen of the world. And as we celebrate tonight Tagore's 150th birthday, and our aspiration is, can we take Tagore's message, writings, and works beyond the boundaries of the Indian subcontinent? He never lived in a free country, but this is probably the freest of all the free men who ever lived. He also envisioned his India very much in that line. More than 100 years ago, he wrote a poem where India is essentially going to be a destination of all the pilgrimage around the world. He wrote in that poem just a few lines. He wrote a few lines. Come Indians, come non-Indians, come Hindus and Muslims, come one and come all. Come Christians and English too, respond to India's clarion call. I teach in a university, and some of you may be familiar with the saying that those who can work, those who cannot teach. So we don't work a lot, but we talk a lot, but we don't call that talking, we call that brainstorming. And when we do that, then a lot of new ideas, a lot of new terminologies emerge. And those are like we have to identify grand challenges facing our planet. We have to break down the barriers to solve them. We talk about diversity. We talk about women's rights, human rights. We talk about fanaticism of religion, and it goes on and on. Rabindranath Tagore just simply didn't write poems and deliver messages. He also delivered tangibles, real tangibles. He founded a tiny institution almost in the middle of nowhere for the education of children to start with. And later on, it grew as a university. And that time, it was not there. Even now it is absent. There is no boundary wall over there in that academic institution. Because he wanted his institution to be where the world has not been broken down into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Rabindranath is often projected as a kind of a saint, in which is understandable, a flowing beard, mystic eyes. But if he were ever a saint, this is the only saint who never retreated from the world, who never refused to embrace life to the fullest extent. And he understood what it means. This institution which he created, there is a prayer hall. In Sanskrit or upper class Bengali, we call it Upasana Mandir. That prayer hall is open to everybody. On 25th of December, every year, thousands of people flock to that place to celebrate Jesus Christ's birthday in that institution. More than 100 years ago, in the same place, it has been a co-ed school. Boys and girls go together. For a country like India, this is way, way ahead of time. Even now, right over here, Lehigh University was not co-ed even 50 years ago. So probably there is something there which we can capture, which we can learn. And that's the hope we have, and that's what I was trying to say, that we'll go through music, dances, songs, but beyond that, there's a tiny aspiration that we do not want it to be just one night stand. We would hope that we can kind of assimilate his message, we can apply them, and apply them to make the place a way better place. The world doesn't change unless we change it. The question is, especially it is the responsibility, or it is incumbent on Indians, can we take Rabindranath Tagore as a tool to address some of the problems, or most of the problems, which we encounter today? And while doing so, can we collectively move toward a destination where the mind will always be without fear and it will be held high? Thank you all for coming. I would like to do two more things right now. The first one is, I know there are people from different places, I believe maybe 8 or 10 different countries, and in line with my message, can I have the next slide, the one with the email thing? For those who are interested in having a free copy of Gitanjali, a song offering, that's his Nobel Prize winning poem book, you may, oh, they put the wrong thing. You can just send an email to this person and with your mailing address, and then that's the gift which you're going to have. Next thing is kind of thanks. Most of the people, this is about offering. I told you in the beginning we're amateurs. Coming back to thanks, there are many individuals who have done a lot of work. Okay, that's understandable. But also I'm very thankful to the students and employees of Lehigh University who have given the time and effort. I'm very thankful to an organization, Lehigh Valley IALB, which has publicized the event greatly, and we are immensely thankful to the Hindu Temple Society, without whose assistance we couldn't probably make it happen. We, as I said, a bunch of amateurs, we wanted to rent a place like this, and very quickly we found out it takes a $1 million insurance to rent this place, and we really didn't have anything. They came all the way, they stood by us without any string attached. So lots of thanks, we really appreciate it. My next line of action, that's for housekeeping, is to introduce the MC of the ceremony. Where is Minty Ray? So, she's going to preside over the whole thing, and Minty grew up in Lehigh Valley. She went to Parkland High School. She graduated from there. Then she went to Duke University, where she completed the degrees in economics and mathematics. After that, as most of the people at her age do, they moved to the center of the universe. They call that New York City. That's where she works. And she, in fact, volunteered, to be the MC. That means on a Saturday evening, she preferred to be here in Lehigh Valley instead of being in New York City. I think that's very rewarding. And from now onward, she is the one who is going to weave this particular event. It's over to you.
Good evening. On behalf of the Indian and Bangladeshi community of the Lehigh Valley, I welcome you. May I kindly now request that all cell phones either be turned off or